Mm-hmm. Meditation is very simple process. It takes a couple of minutes to learn and a few minutes of practice with no restrictions whatsoever.
More than Annadana or Vidyadana, Dhyanadana is the biggest gift. Giving the gift of meditation is the biggest gift.
For a long time in my company, Cognizant, we are looking for funding, and for a long period of time it was not happening. But then I started visualizing things that we learn here, and started talking in a positive way to all our colleagues, and we actually got funding for more than what we were expecting. So I realized that meditation, there's so much that we can do, because everything is about what I think and feel.
Getting into a dream job as physical therapist in USA. So I need to give an exam called National Physical Therapy Exam. So with that intention, I worked on my own thought patterns, reprogrammed my mind, thoughts, meditation with these affirmations and constantly replacing the negative thought with the positive thought really helped me. And I did clear the exam the very first time.
I've overcome my migraine headache, and my blood pressure became normal, and many benefits. So since then, I have been continuously practicing. I've been learning and growing with this team.
I noticed that doing the meditations alone versus doing it in a group with the guidance from Chandra sir was so powerful and so different. Every day I was feeling like I was able to connect and be and experience that calmness and the stillness.
I came to know that you can be CEO of your own life if you do meditation, because you can stop the constant chatter of your mind, calm it down, and be more peaceful and mindful.
Enriching myself through the Chandra Sir's meditation and wisdom talks. I'm really enjoying and being with myself here.
I was a short temper. I used to get angry frequently for even small things. People observed I started responding to the things and situation instead of reacting it.
This is a really, really wonderful platform to gain wisdom and do meditation, especially the group meditations. Yes, definitely helpful, and clearing our questions and everything.
To go within yourself and to connect to yourself and to know yourself, self-awareness really helps.
My fear went away and I found awareness. I could feel everything. Like I am so aware of my life, like every thought, everything. And from that time, I never looked back.
I started getting some infection in my body, very severe infection near my anal and vagina area. I visited a doctor and he told that surgery is very much needed and we need to remove the total abscess. So doctor gave me antibiotics. I'm joining the sessions and I'm practicing meditation, listening to your wisdom notes, whatever you're telling about body. Something improved over there, like the abscess came that near the vagina. Yesterday afternoon, that all the pus abscess, everything came out very naturally. In an instant, the pain got relieved. So whatever I improved with your wisdom and I implemented and I decreased my fear.
My positive emotion has been increased and my negative emotions like worry, fear has been reduced. So these are one of the best profound benefits I got through meditation.
A very warm welcome to all of you on day 9. Week 2 of Miracle Program. Based on the premise that we learned yesterday about our thoughts influencing our experiences, our life events, our actions and behavior, our ability to cope with challenges, let's gear up to listen to another topic from Chandra sir today. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Happy morning, friends and masters. Great afternoon, evening. When Patriji used to always say, meditation is a single answer to all questions, single solution to all problems. I was not getting it. Just one answer. When anyone has any problem, any challenge, only one answer: meditation. Sit down for meditation. I was not understanding it until they understood the technicality of what meditation is doing. This is not just another medicine or pill that you take and say, okay, this is going to work in this area because calming the mind, problems related to mind will go, or something like that. If we have understood from what we were discussing yesterday, in meditation, we become from matter to energy, or human to divine. If that energy is divine, we become that. From a small frequency, we become infinite frequency. In the unlimited whole frequency, everything is there. And so then it became fundamentally, I could understand that when everything is there within, and meditation is making it going into the field of everything, then there isn't anything that's not possible. If everything is that, and something beautiful happening in meditation, our human mind, the mind that is logically holding us back, stopping us back constantly. Yeah, I say with that, this is how it's going to happen. How is that possible? We can only see a few steps ahead. That's all it can see. This limited mind can only see these 3-4 steps because it's only based on what it learned. And then what is there to learn is infinite, unlimited. But with the little thing we will learn, we think this is how it's going to work and how it's going to solve the problem. But if we recognize that a simple meditation drops the matter, drops the body, transcends the body, then we're going in and becoming that whole field of energy. And then we are spending time there, sufficiently there. Sufficient amount of time must be spent, not 5 minutes, 10 minutes either there. It is good enough to calm the mind so that now when you're doing next meeting, next action, you'll be calmed, and then so then you're doing it a little more mindfully, no doubt about it. But if you want to be there to access the power of it, I can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm in a rush, I go home, and then 10 minutes with my grandma. Okay, my grandma will say, okay, but I also come have this, and that's all she can do. But then you give 2 hours of time, then she'll give you stories. She'll give you a life experience. She'll give you more things. She'll understand more about you, and so then she gives you more. Because the only thing grandma knows is to give. Same thing with meditation. We need to be there sufficiently long enough to harness the power of this field, or harness the power of our highest self, which is threading our lives from one life to another, to another, to another. And so it knows the big picture. So when there are challenges, when my health problems are there, my back problems are there, my, any throat problems are there, hormonal issues are there, acid reflux are the kid, anything is there, every problem is ultimately is somewhere stuck up with a lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. Too ambitious, too much of analysis, which is constantly putting pressure in every cell of the body. Interference, it's called interference into every cell's functioning. Because cells are receiving energy from their environment. Their environment is nothing but full of the electromagnetic energy filled through the thought and feeling. And so they simply receive the signal and then respond. Whatever may be the state of the mind, there's a confusing mind, or a guilty mind, or an aggressive mind, or no very too analytical mind. All of that, when it stops, our body naturally starts functioning at its best, so that health will come. If we decide to be with this meditation without losing the regularity of it, we must be in it. Have a little patience, and then everyone who's got any health challenge must go. It will go. The energy is there. So when the mind itself is not going here, there, then health will come. But the thing is, after health happens, let's say 30 days, 40 days, meditate, health happens, then we go back to our old self. We say, okay, now it's healed. It's not like a medicine. It's not temporary healing. Permanent healing happens when our mind is mastered. Mind mastery means that we have right understanding through which we operate our life. When I have everything, why should I crib about still not having something? That means lack of knowledge. When people who are able to live their life joyfully with no roof to live, and so then why can't I live joyfully with a roof and a great roof to live? Because lack of knowledge, right? It's simply the way we're understanding in our mind about situations. We're simply giving meaning. We're giving over importance to others' thoughts, others' opinions, not our opinion. And so then we suffer. And so the knowledge has to be there. Regular knowledge and understanding has to be there. With the regular knowledge, regular meditation, when Patri is talking about, it'll give you everything. It will give you everything. All answers are there when they're going into the infinite frequency world. Isn't anything that is outside of it. That we catch that one point, dear friends, and then we will not leave this right meditation. Any meditation that takes us into the other side, like that. Breath mindfulness meditation is that. Because you're holding on to that intelligent breath. You would agree with me that breath is not another random object. It is not, looking at some candle. It's not looking at some thing. It's not taking some mantra. Breath is there, without which you are not there, I'm not there. No, it has to have its own position. It cannot be equal to objects and say that I'm doing another object meditation. No way. Meditation is not a mind concentration technique at all. That's just a tail of it. Mind concentration technique is, being on one, and so they'll get trained onto the mindfulness is one aspect of it. Meditation, holding onto the breath, which is that intelligent connecting force. It knows who is bringing the breath back into our body again once it goes out. Do you know? When a breath goes out, how is it coming back? Who is pulling it back? Are our lungs pulling it back? Are the nose pulling it back? How is it even coming back into our body? I've never thought about it. There's got to be some intelligence, or whatever you want to call it. It cannot be randomly going and then coming in and out for the whole lifetime for trillions and trillions of beings out there. It cannot be just randomly going in and coming out. That's the only thing modern science knows, is that it can't explain. It's just random. Just random. It can't be random. And so we hold on to the breath, dear friends, is the way to, that intelligence is there. We hold on to the intelligence, then we are automatically moving to the other side, meaning we're becoming that energy, we're becoming the whole. We spend sufficient amount of their time in that whole, things will happen. We experiment it. Any health problem, will have to dissolve if you are sufficiently are there in thinking about it and then going into meditation. We will receive right amount of knowledge required to sustain the healing when you start meditating. Healing will happen, but sustain the healing. That means you need to maintain the state. It requires sufficient amount of knowledge to master the mind, and so then automatically the body will stay intact. Let's go into practice of meditation once again, dear friends. We started the heart elevation technique yesterday. Heart elevation process helps to, as I said, to go into more coherent states. What the discovery is that with the heart, when it goes into good emotion, automatically everything is in a coherent state. So let me put up the chart of how we're doing. Then it's simply bringing an emotion. You try it first time, newcomers, and then try it again. Simple emotion. It doesn't have to be something great. You're just stepping out of your home and you see some nice tree or a nice hill, and then you look at that and you feel good. Just do that. That's all. Just imagine you're there, or imagine you're there going onto the terrace, the night sky, you like that, you feel always, going into something bigger and bolder than you, and then it takes you into some deep states. Just imagine you are doing that. That's all. Sufficient to move away from the current lower state of emotion, if there is anything. And so then we are moving into higher emotions, and that helps to go into the coherent states, to the alpha state. So the process of meditation, again, anybody new, we are doing heart elevation process for a few minutes, but we're doing primarily breath mindfulness meditation for a long time. And what's breath mindfulness meditation? Is to observing our normal, natural breath. As you see in this picture, sitting down on the floor in the chair, crossing your feet, fingers into fingers, hands in your lap, closing your eyes, removing spectacles, observing your natural breath. Anywhere in the nose, observe the breath. Slowly, mind becomes less and less of thought, go into empty states, and be in the state of emptiness. Whatever happens to you, any sensation, movement, visions in your mind and body, observe them. When you start with the breath, slowly as mind becomes empty, you may experience some kind of states of meditation, some feelings, some visions, some moments. Witness them. We talked about them early in this program. You can go and then listen to the initial videos of what that is. Witness them. In case you have distractions, any day you have thought, anytime, thoughts are coming, attention back to the breath again. And again, start the process all over. It's called breath mindfulness meditation. We're spending maximum time in this, dear friends. And prior to that, we're doing few minutes of heart elevation technique. Just follow my guidance for it. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Relax your body. Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, keep your hands on your chest area and resting your attention on your sacred heart. Can you feel? Your beautiful heart feel. The seed of all emotions, nurturing all life with its energies of love, compassion, connect with your heart center, dear friend, with a slow, relaxing breath. Feel the beat, the rhythm of your heart. Can you go into a higher emotion, imagine and dream of an experience of love, of joy, of compassion, of gratitude, of kindness. Recollect an experience from your past or simply generate that emotion through a higher experience that you imagine. Relive that moment and feel that energy. And can you intend to spread that energy onto everything and everybody on this planet? Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. Feel. Relive that moment. We are all deeply interconnected. Slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. Your fingers into fingers, hands in your lap, comfortably rested. observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath.
Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness inside of you, all around you. become aware of the deeper calmness, the emptiness inside of you, all around you, as you merge into your breath. All emptiness is energy. This is the quantum field. Energy, the field of all knowingness. The field of highest will. The field of limitless possibility. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness, that calmness, the more enlightened you become, the more inspired you become. And the more unlimited you become. the more you stay connected to this calmness and emptiness, the more you transcend your body, the more you experience this field of energy. The more you draw in the possibilities. Merge into it. And yourself. To stay connected to this emptiness. This is your higher mind. Everyone and everything is connected in this field of emptiness. the longer you stay connected into this emptiness, the more you experience your wholeness, the more complete you become. Friends, it is truly an honor and privilege to be living and experiencing this life. Many are not so blessed. Can you express gratitude to all things and everyone in your life? Your gratitude to your parents, your teachers, mentors, your family, friends, colleagues, relatives, everyone in your life. Be grateful to this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals. To everything you use, the technology, the system, the companies, the governments. Gratitude to yourself and to this intelligent universe. Gratitude is the highest state of receivership. Relax your body and let your autonomous nervous system repair your body.
Namaste, namaste, I see the beauty in you. 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 In your eyes I see a light that's shining through. You radiate such grace, and so I bow to you. Namaste.
Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel What have you experienced? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. We were discussing about an important concept, the nature of personal reality, how everything is created and how are things happening, how are events happening, and why am I in a situation where I am today. I have everything in my life, material possession is there, relationships are there, beauty is there, but then I'm not happy somewhere. I have this serious health challenge somewhere. I'm facing intense amount of issue with my workplace, bosses. What is the reason? Why is so? This person always seemed to do good things, but suddenly he's collapsed out of heart attack. What happened? Suddenly there's so much mud thrown at him. All these cases he got into. What happened? How come so unfair? So much injustice, so much tragedy happening in the world for this and that. All these questions come and we feel helpless. All of that is there only when we brand every experience as good and bad, which has come purely from conditioning. All that is there when we brand things as good and bad, and then good and bad is branded because out of lack of understanding. Marriage within a same caste, for many people, it is the right thing to do. And more understood, pushing and saying that if you marry somebody outside your caste is totally wrong, or outside your religion is totally wrong. Now many people, for them, it is not natural. So then you say that understanding is not there. And so then they're saying it has to be within my caste, my community, my religion. If you increase their understanding, then you say that's no longer right. It is only through understanding what is right and wrong is clearly determined. Through our increased understanding, the wrongs drop, the rights drop. Then everything becomes an experience. That injustice, the whole thought of injustice disappears if the increased understanding. That we are here to experience life, but we're not here. When we label, everything is labeled because we have a notion of what life should be, and so we label it. This person is successful, this person is not successful, failure. If I didn't have a house by 50 years or 60 years, then I'm a failure in a community where everybody has a house. Simple. Then when you go into another place where nobody bothers about having their own houses, you say, wow, you're doing great, you're living for the moment. Look, those people are just holding on things. Here it is, you're right, there you're wrong. Here you're successful, there you're failure. Anything that changes from time to time, place to place is not truth. So Let's see, let's try to understand this concept where I started about explaining the six spiritual science laws, the six principles of how things are happening in our lives from nothingness to experiencing infinity in each and every one of us. So on Friday, I believe, I talked about, let me get this. I talked about principle of consciousness and then principle of reincarnation. So the six principles of personal reality, it opens up doors. It helps us to understand situations that are unanswered. Consciousness, principle of consciousness, reincarnation. We understood that principle of consciousness was that everything comes from nothingness. There is all this emptiness, there's all this energy, the field. We saw in the quantum physics lecture yesterday that it's all 99.99% is all empty. Even what is there, that 0.001% as matter is also by default energy. And so everything is emptiness and energy. There is nothing is visible, it's all invisible. From that nothingness comes everything. Right? So that's, and then from everything that comes, and then it lives on and then transforms itself into something else. Minerals become plants, plants go into animal kingdom, evolve into human kingdom, and to the angelic kingdom, or vice versa, parallelly, many things happen. They transform one to the other. And then it goes back into the nothingness. A seed becomes tree and then becomes a big tree. Then someday that tree is no longer there. In the company not there, but then it becomes bigger, suddenly gets formed out of nothing. And then after a few years, it is not there anymore. It goes back and transforms into some other energy. People working at a company are defining the energy of it and then work, and then someday they all leave, or whatever reason, situations change, and then they transform into another energy, another entity, another thing. All right. So principle of consciousness is saying that everything is coming from nothingness. It's originating from nothingness and forms and then goes back. Forms and goes back. The cycle is happening always. And in stock markets, they go up, they come down. And then so they go up again. If coming down, if it's considered as going away, then it goes back again. Then the second thing that we understood is that there is reincarnation. So that means we come and then take birth and go back, and then come, take birth and go back, come, take birth and go back. When I read the books by Dr. Ian Stevenson, anybody wants to understand scientifically, he was a great academician, associated with universities and professor all through. And then he was chartered to go and then disprove reincarnation theory. Okay, disprove reincarnation theory. Because it's just breaking many things. But then he went and then came back with the exact opposite conclusion that there is this reincarnation exists. He's written a book, 20 Suggestive Cases of Reincarnation through research through children. In that book, the scientific evidence corroborations about young children, 3 years, 4 years, when they recollect memories and they say things that doesn't make sense. They don't make sense. And so they went back and they looked at them and said, okay, where are they coming from? One was saying the moment a bus is coming there, he was like, running away from it. He was so scared of it. Water is very scared. And it turns out that when he went back and corroborated evidences, that he noticed that this boy fell through into a ditch while he was cycling. when the bus was coming. And so then he corroborated that he lived very near to that area a few years ago. Like that, there are many cases that are documented very well. And so they come to a full conclusion that it exists, or reincarnation exists for any doubtful mind. And then we must research it. We open up to research to see and then explore. This meditation helps you to explore. In one of my past lives, I was a reformer. As a women reformer, wanting to do many things. And there were always people who was moving around. Must be some Western, because the clothes that I was wearing were like that. But then later, I recognized towards the end of the lifetime that whatever I wanted to do was to do a lot of writing. It was very, very clear to me that I couldn't do it. I couldn't present what I wanted to do in the writing, which I didn't. And that is how I left my body at that time. I'm looking more about it now that I feel that I have to do more writing. Writing means that I have this recorded, written, all of it. Because each one has different things. So then I come in this lifetime where when I write, I feel good. That I can thread that experience. Every time I wrote, as an engineer, people dread to write documents. Everybody wants to, in computer science particularly, nobody wants to code. They want to do things. Nobody wants to write stuff. Richard knows how difficult it is to get people to write documents. They want to test products, but they don't want to write cases of how to do it because there's no repeatability. It is good for that time. If you don't write, then the next person comes again, you have to start all over. But you write it and somebody else will know how to replicate it. It spreads. And so then I can thread my experience in my lifetime here that every time I wrote, I was successful. I recognized very well and said, okay, you write good documents, you express very well, so please write. The career recognition came back in when I was right in the beginning of the second year of experience of my work experience in 92, when I wrote some documents, I felt good more importantly. And also people recognize and say, okay, good, you're writing good documents, you're doing good thing. So that means somewhere the talent is there, I must utilize it. That's why today we are bringing Buddhasiva Quantum Foundation, Buddhasiva magazine. I'm fond of it. So bring a quarterly magazine and neutral language that is something more scientific in nature, giving about meditation. Right. There are several wisdom notes that are coming. So this lifetime, I definitely have a purpose to do a lot of writing about things that I believe in, things that I understand. From one life to another lifetime we thread. And so what we didn't experience, we're designed to come and experience here. That's reincarnation, we understood the other day. So where is the question of death? The question of death must exist when you understand reincarnation is there. People in the old age where the body is no longer cooperating, and then the right way to leave the body is to have this highest understanding that this is not the end of it. Because many people feel guilty, feel sad, feel bad that, okay, in my prime time, I could not do that, I could not do this, and they regret it at this later stage of life. I didn't give time to family, I didn't do enough things, I made very poor decisions because of me, so many people got into trouble, all these kinds of thought. I used to be in the middle of everything, but now here I'm not doing anything, and I'm doing a regretful, helpless situation, a wrong way to live the body. Because what you live with, what kind of understanding you live with is what kind of life you recreate again. And so then if you have this understanding, say, okay, what has happened? Now I recognize that I'm going to have a greater life. If I want to come back, I can come back and then live again. Or I have so many dimensions out there. If Earth is one dimension, 0.1, less than 0.1 frequency, there are so many dimensions. Could it be possible that other dimensions exist? What does science know about human body? Science is great, but it knows very little about human body. It knows very little about it. So we can't say with our limited understanding, there's no life elsewhere. How can we say that? That's being irrational. That's not being scientific temperament. And so we are open about it, that there could be life elsewhere, there could be different dimensions, or there could be something else going on. Then we tune into it. We start receiving and reading. Enlightenment is to recognize that I know very little. And I'm there constantly to learn and learn and learn and learn and learn. That's enlightenment, sufficient. So we understood the principle of reincarnation is that we come and go, come and go. So if we come and go, then dear friend, the more we understand this, the more we come to a conclusion that situations, we overcome situations. There won't be problems anymore for us. I'm coming and going. And one lifetime, I was like this head of the village who ensured, we insisted, we pushed people to see that they get married within the community only. And I've troubled so many people. I did this. In another lifetime, I'm doing exactly opposite. So you learn from experience. Okay, that is there, this is there. What is right? What is right? In some cultures, exposing waste is not right. In some culture, exposing legs is not right. What is right? How can you tell what is right and not right? Right. So where the culture says exposing waste is not right, so then you are wearing something, covering it. Where exposing legs is not right, you're covering it. That's how it is of the culture. But it differs from place to place. In some culture, having a glass of beer is completely wrong. In some culture, it is okay. Now, if we say that's wrong, half the world is wrong. Wrong and right are simply being decided by the society, the culture, in some cases, twisted religions, many people who wanted to twist things for their favor and then put all those things. It has to come from inside. What is right and wrong? Our inner is telling us in any given situation. Okay, so reincarnation will help us to go beyond situations, to see them as experiences, not as right and wrong experience, good and bad experience, success and failure experiences, because they're simply coming and going and we're reincarnating to do things, different roles, different things we choose and then do, as male and female, as a successful person, as a rich person, a poor person. A person who has all the knowledge, all success in academics, but then later come and then bang, completely fails in the work life, could be just another experience. Fails meaning it doesn't seem to have good experiences or the way they wanted to have. They want to have something, they'll have something else. Experience that are against what they wanted. So then comes the third thing, dear friends, is principle of cause and effect, or the karma. Karma is saying that when I'm here to experience, like a movie actor, I'm coming and doing different movies, and each movie is a lifetime. And so that I'm here, and then I'm playing a role in a movie, I should do right in that role. That's all is this cause and effect. I've got a role to play in my company. I must do to the best possible the role I must play. If I'm a CEO of the company, then my role is to enable everybody to grow. The only role for everyone is to see that my role I play right. And how do I play right? I experience my role to the best possible emotions and all of that. I allow others to experience also. I give them the best facilitation so that they too can experience it. Not by forcing, not by interfering, not by killing. That's when you don't allow others to do. You push everyone to do for you, but that's where the law of karma, law of cause and effect is saying that you play your role right, and all our roles are always there for us to experience our life greatly and allow others to experience their life greatly. Not experience our life at the expense of somebody else. The nature law is that free will and freedom is simple. What you want for you is what others want. Pretty simple. So if I want a lot of enablement through wealth, Others also want. Give it. Let them also have. Don't try to be very greedy to make them all work and then you have everything for you. That's greed. So then, of course, there is a consequence for it then. Law of cause and effect is saying, if you are troubled today, there must have been a trouble you created for somebody else sometime. Just recognize it. That's all. If I'm going through a lot of backache, significant backache, I must have broken backs of many people in the past. Just simple, have an understanding and say, how can I then change this situation? How can I learn from past? How can I forgive? How can I seek forgiveness? We simply put an attribute, a stress as the cause and say, because I'm so stressed and so this is why it's happening at a physical level. But the sciences are talking about there is a deep cause. Why I keep getting into stressful situation is because to experience this pain in the body, because there's somewhere else you chose to come and experience pain in the body. Because you wanted to learn through it and say, if I'm going through this and it's so difficult for me to do, I will say in that moment that I should not want to see ever anybody in the world should go through the pain like this. So you're learning through it. When I'm going through intense pain, that's what we say, right? I don't want to ever see anybody go through this, man. Even the enemy should not have it. Right? And so for learning, we go through situations. How do I learn? When I go on harming things, and I don't learn from it, and I don't want harming, I don't want stopping people from, animals from living. I don't learn from it. I know it's not right because they're also struggling and suffering, but I don't write it, but do it. And so what do I learn? I go into a situation of that so that I experience that. Then I know firsthand what it feels like to be painful. If an animal is separated, a mother of an animal is separated from the children, and they're not there, potentially that might happen if you do this again and again and again for whatever fun and sport. At some point, potentially your children may be separated for things that you feel bad about it, not knowing. But the root cause is somewhere there. Out of power, somebody has pulled away, dragged away the children, maybe at some point, and then moved them in as slaves and workers somewhere, then it has to show up as another cause. So what is it? Law of cause and effect is always coming back. In X company, I stole some data and then I somehow concealed it. But then it takes its turn and slowly, eventually comes out. 30 years later, comes back as an issue. Now, do you say that I didn't do it? You know it. Yes, I did it that time. So if the punishment comes, you accept it because you agree to a loss of this land. You can escape now. And all these scandals in stock markets and this and that, they come out. It happened 20 years ago, but they come out eventually. You have to pay for it. That's effect. So, dear friends, the only thing to is there's nothing to lament about our situation today. Law of cause and effect is saying if I'm going through a tough situation, it must have been a chosen situation by me to learn through this and say, what is that I'm learning in this? That's all we have to look at. What's my learning? More patience, more enablement, more openness, and all these learnings that we go through. And then we learn, then that dissolves, the situation dissolves. So we don't instead crib and then complain and cry. If I'm in a very poor situation, in a very, like a beggar or situation where I do keep losing, it doesn't mean that you are not intelligent. It doesn't mean that you don't have this or that. It doesn't mean that you're unlucky. Luck and unlucky are never there. It's only based on our choosing. Reincarnate based on our choosing. Just the way I chose a role in a company, we keep taking different roles to learn and to grow from there. So luck now is there, dear friends. The moment you understand law of karma, you stop doing violence. You stop interfering into people's lives. Even if they're children, you don't force them to do what you want to do. Non-interference, non-violence, and non-killing. 3 things we stop when the moment law of cause and effect is understood. non-interference through a thought. We don't do. Let everybody live their life. Give them pros and cons if you want to give, but then let them decide and then let them live. Don't influence, don't force to the authority. No, of course, physical violence and then no killing last thing. Not only to humans, it's for everything. So the point is that minimize the consequences of your action. That's what it is. Go into the righteousness of your thing, what you need to do it in law of karma, and then recognize the problems are there only for us to learn, and then our situations are only for learn, nothing else. This explains why somebody is big dharmadhikari, taking care of temples and temples and temples, but then suddenly not there. There must have been a life design of that sort. With an intense amount of goats have been sacrificed in rural areas. Intense amount of goats are sacrificed. An innocent goat has been sacrificed for various things. For your, blind belief, then there is got to show up, that calamity show up, that drought show up, because mass scale killing happening, and so mass scale, that the drought shows up. Mass scale stuff along the sea coast, the tsunamis show up. Intense cyclones come, and then many lives go because there is intense amount of harm and hurt is being caused to other animal beings. We don't see it. Rampant pesticides are used on the soil, killing trillions and trillions of nature in there. And so what would happen then? There will be droughts there. There will be huge suffering because the symptoms of suffering is being caused in the rampant pesticides used. Whereas a spiritual agriculture and is taught, there's lack of understanding. And then the spiritual agriculture is taught with your thought, by being friendly and nice, and then the soil nature changes. There is a concept of spiritual agriculture, the nature agriculture, so many things are there. That can be done. We know the techniques are there, but then instead we're conditioned by the Western greedy, or Ashwini is the Western, a greedy society. And so use this pesticide, you'll get very short-term oriented. Chemicals you put rampant, then everything will grow. It kills everything, you know that. But lack of understanding, condition, and so people just use it. So we must increase our understanding, and so is the friends, is the law of cause and effect. When droughts are there, it's not the thing to go and then pray for rain. Instead, go and first recognize and say, why am I going through this trouble? Give that meditation understanding to that farmer. If you give meditation understanding, the farmer meditates, heals the past, and then gains an understanding and becomes nice, and then moves towards a more righteous way of living. Not sacrificing goats, not bothered. All those things will change. So the right thing is to give meditation, give understanding, than to simply support them with more food, more this, more that. Give food, no doubt. Of course, we have to have food at that moment, but give meditation also. Then you are permanently helping them to transfer all their challenges. Otherwise, you have to go back in a week later and then give them more food again. To go on doing it and make them dependent on you. Or when you are there, along with the food, give meditation. That's why in every pyramid movement's place, there is food is given free. When we organize functions outside, if you are organizing function, don't think about cost, give the food, no matter who that is, and then you give them knowledge. We only see individuals as, human body, and so then we try to solve the material problem. But it solves the knowledge problem, and so then automatically, then they do the right thing, right? So the principle of karma is saying cause and effect, consequences are there. And the male domination happens in families, and then they suppress women. Of course, there are going to be huge consequences for them later. They recognize soon, allow everyone to speak up, recognize soon, and then value everybody. Give that value to everyone. Women and men are like children. Cannot suppress and then say that they don't know anything. Child is like a consciousness. God, when they're born, 4 or 5 years later, they're conditioned by the crooked thinking or the conditioned thinking of the environment, which is parents, which is teachers, who are primary influencers, at later point friends. So a blind man cannot lead another blind man. It is not possible. And so then it has to be there. The knowledge has to be there from the root. Parents without ignorance, I was telling my baby too, oh, you have to eat a lot of this chicken. You get a lot of protein. What a sad state. Only later realize the protein is there naturally in so many things. Plenty of it is there. In lentils, in soya, and so many aspects it's there. And then here we're saying only non-veg is a way to get protein. So out of ignorance, we're feeding, forcing them. Some children don't want, but parents force them. Consequence will be there. Out of ignorance, they're doing it. So dear friends, spiritual science is, we must learn this science. Okay. So then the fourth thing, dear friends, is that it's all, once we understand these two important laws, law of reincarnation, law of cause and effect. Reincarnation is saying life after life after life, we choose roles and come. Cause and effect is saying, do your role right. That means stop doing violence, stop interference. That's all it is. Allow others to do the freedom with which they operate. Right? And then don't lament on ourselves situations saying that because somebody else have done it, because we chose an experience, we're going through an experience. No experience is greater, no experience is lesser. Somebody is living in a great palace is no greater than somebody is living in a small hut. They're simple experiences. Deep inside, he is consciousness, you are consciousness, period. I chose this and he chose that. We see it. Very rich people are people who have done a lot of things, suddenly realize there's no meaning in it. They give up everything, go to a remote area, build a tiny home, and then live there for the rest of their life. Now, those who do not understand the whole picture, they think, you poor thing, they're living here in a small house, and what happened to them? If you go dig deeper, you know that, okay, they lived a kingly life, but then they just came here because all that made no meaning for them. So we only look surface level and think that somebody is very poor. It doesn't. That person is living in the hut may be a grandest master from the past. We know this so many times. I've seen it. So by looking physically has no relevance at all. We look at, they're looking at everybody as, that's why Patri used to say, look everybody as soul. Everybody has this divine consciousness, not as simple thing that's showing up in front of you. Then judgment is not there. And anybody, sympathy is not there anybody. And so we have an empathetic understanding. The fourth thing, dear friends, very quickly, is that everything is progression. In life, there is only progression. Now, if things are only experiences, for every experience, you learn something new. In our business language, we say all failures are stepping stone towards success, which is true. What spiritual science is saying that everyone, and life after life after life, you are experiencing, and so with experience, you gain wisdom and knowledge, and so then you know what to do, what not to do, isn't it? You know what to do, what not to do. If you're organizing a function with 1,000 guests, and you didn't plan well, or whatever that is, then it was a chaos. Next time you know, so entry points are very narrow, so I need to see that very wide entry points, you just learn. So you do a second event, there'll still be problems, but you would have solved some progress. Was it a failure or a progress? Second event, we widen the exits and entries. Great. So free flow is happening, but maybe there is still something else somewhere, which is a bottleneck, and still an issue was there. So it is still success. There is a progression, it's not failure. People who don't look at it and say, even if they have a slightest discomfort, they didn't bother to organize this well. They don't know how to organize. We just make comments and judgments. It's okay. Others will go on talking about what they want to say. But we need to look at it and say, yes, compared to last time, I progressed. I did it better than what it was last time. We know this. With the repetition, by doing it again and again, we only increase our learning. So a businessman, when he's doing a serial entrepreneur, If he failed 3 times, and 3 times he's worked and then he didn't have the success the way the world sees it, doesn't mean that he failed. But they know it, entrepreneurs know that they are getting better and better in their ability to manage businesses. First one was disastrous in thought. Second one, they became a little more positive. Third one, they're miraculous in thinking, so produce great result. So progression. So it is saying that there's no failure, constant progression. The only progression because where every experience teaches us something, and so then we progress in our life from where we are to now. So why even bother about labeling somebody as success or failure? System is wrong. Students literally go through this challenge. Somebody who gets only 35 or 30 marks, we tell them, this person is fit for nothing. We use these comments on them. What we don't recognize, that student in the past life probably did not go to school at all. Lived in a village, lived in a remote place, didn't go to school. And so here, he already scored 35 marks. Isn't it beautiful? Why should we push them to be that 95 like everybody else? And then label and brand them and then remove their value significantly by putting them into all kinds of labeling. So we have to recognize that whatever that somebody is going through must be, the only thing here, dear friends, is to help them understand, help them not waste time, help them to be there, because the time goes where it is a good for every moment we have utilized for experiencing and learning something. So we learn and learn and learn. So that's all our job as parents and anyone is to see that everyone utilize their time to the best possible way. That's all it is in learning. Then the fifth law and then fifth thing is, dear friends, is all of this knowledge, we live lives, life after life after life without this knowledge. So without thinking, without knowing that I have, everything is happening as a drama, the whole life is a movie. And so we live through it without having this understanding. So the whole lifetime is gone, 55 years, 60 years is gone, thinking that my position in my company is that if I'm not there, nothing will work. And that's the ignorance with which we work. And so we take things too seriously and burn ourselves. And then at 50 years later, at some point, and in some lifetime of it, we learn, we come to meditation, we gain this knowledge. We understand in meditation that I'm not alone. I have this entire power there. My soul power is there, which has got bigger knowledge and information than me. I simply tune into it and say, what should I do now? And suddenly tell me. In a company, you're a senior with 15 years of experience working on a product. Others come to you because you have the knowledge. You can live through the 15 years of history. You can tell where the problem is readily. The same thing, the soul or your higher self, which has the knowledge of all lifetimes, then it can readily give you a clue of what you should do next. So you sit in meditation, go into that for an answer from inside. Just like how you go into your 15-year experience in a company because you know the answers of the situation. As simple as that. So law of yoga now is helping us, meditation is helping us to go inward for answers. There will be right answers, quick answers. Otherwise, they're hard labor. We do all the work, the lifetimes we live with a lot of difficulties. Hard work will become smart work when you come to law of yoga. So that means you do more things in less time and more things in less resources. So that's why when you come into fifth principle and understand this principle, the moment the meditation is entered, your life is going on a fast track. You're experiencing many things. You're very rigid about vacations because you feel, oh, I can't go vacation. I don't know. I'm okay, happy here. Why should I go to another place, trouble, train journey, this, that, everything like that. But in meditation, you're looking for newness. You say, yeah, I want to go there. I want to do this. I want to do that. So you start because open up and then do many things. So you are going into a fast track. It's called catalyst. So law of yoga and meditation, when it enters into somebody's life, you accelerate your life experiences. It's like catalyst, like chemical catalyst is there, which accelerates the reaction time from months to days, or days to hours. And so same as meditation. It catalyzes. So ordinary becomes miraculous. You're living ordinary life, you're living a miraculous life. Things that are unexpected, you start doing it. That's the word. People say, miraculously I healed. Miraculously I got that seat. Miraculously I traveled. Miraculously I got the money. We use these words. Life becomes miraculous. We experience uncommon. And then the last thing, dear friends, is that with that understanding that everything is simply a role I play, I choose and play a role for learning, for nothing other than that, not to prove to anybody, I learn. Success, failure are only intermittent states. They're only a given point in time. I was a failure in my company until 13 years, 9 months. Failure means whatever they were looking for, ultimately investors invested, and then we were still losing money until 13 years, 9 months. 13 years, 9 months later, in the 10th month, my company got acquired, and so the investors got money, employees got. So then comes suddenly world recognizes and says, okay, this is successful. So was it a failure till 13 years, 9 months? Because that business success was not there, acquisition was not there. If you look at a time frame, a small, then you say, okay, you're failing at potential depending on it. But if you look at the increase of the horizon, you always see that there is only progression is there. Failure is not there. Okay. Failure is not there. And so then we recognize that we are simply living life after life, experiencing after experiencing. Nothing is a failure or a success. Everything is an experience. There is a true meaning of becoming equanimous. Becoming equanimous to experiences, samasthiti. That's what it means, samadhi, equanimous state. Of every experience of life, become equanimous. We're not either perturbed because too much joy is there. We're not crying because suffering is there. Both are equal. Right? True meaning in Bhagavad Gita, Shubha Ashubha Parityagi. Shubha Parityagi, Ashubha. Shubha is there, Ashubha is there, but go beyond them. We understand that. And then principle of nature, the unlimitedness is saying that the field is unlimited, limitless. Limitless knowledge you learn, limitless experience you have. Go about acquiring knowledge, go about experiencing life greatly, right? No limitation. That's really the understanding we come to, and so life is unlimited. While we are very, very righteous in our living, as we understand law of cause and effect greatly, right? So with that, dear friends, we move, we transform. When we have this knowledge, and then when we understand this knowledge and experience through meditation regularly, then we are moving and then saying we are everything, we're not nothing. We are eternal. There is life continuity. So death is just a passing stage. Don't worry about it too much. So what? So what if death comes? Why not? Okay, go to the other dimension and explore. Everything is a problem, so is not luck, it's self-creation. I chose to experience, and so I'm going through it right now. I caused some issue before, and so the consequence I'm doing right now, because I agree to a law, and so I caused against the law, so I've got consequence now. I agree to it. So self-creation is not a luck thingy. It's not unexplained. Luck is when you don't have the time frame and visibility. So bad luck while they're going through. But if you dig deeper, there is something out there. Problems are not there. Learning is there. Failure is not there. Progress is there. Ordinary moves to a miraculous life. Limited life moves to unlimited life, dear friends. So this is the 6 spiritual sense laws, is how we transform when we have this knowledge. Thank you very much for understanding these important principles. We will, with this backdrop of this, we will, of course, have several topics to cover. Whatever that we're able to do in the rest of the program, we will do. Any announcements, Richa Madam? Are you there?
No, sir, no announcements for today.
All right. Okay. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day. And anybody has questions, I'm staying back here for a few minutes after this short break.
I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees, I choose
Yes, friends and masters, that was a wonderful session. The 6 principles of nature of personal reality. So, if you have any questions or you want to share your experience, please raise your hand. And thanks to those who have typed in chat. Yes, Priyanka ji.
Hello, ma'am. Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, Priyanka ji.
Yeah, I want to
Hello.
ask 2, 3 things. Like whenever I'm doing the meditation, mostly it's like my body goes through so many jerks. Every time falling here and there, I feel like I'm doing properly or not. And then sometimes I am not able to feel my breath. Like you say that you have to check your breath, but I'm not able to find that. And another thing is like if any sensation is going on, like completely we have to focus on that, like we'll be completely engrossed in that, or I have to come back to my breath again. Yeah, just these things.
Yes. One thing, yeah, you had 3 questions. I'll answer one by one.
Yeah.
One thing first I want to see is what I want to say is you're doing the right thing. You're progressing very well. So first question, you have those jerks, right? Which is very common in meditation. It is like knowingly or unknowingly. I mean, how we go in when we are sleeping, we go and and come back to the physical body. It's same thing is happening here, and the jerk is very common in meditation. But no need to analyze it much further. Just go with the flow, and that is it's okay to have those jerks, and it's one of the experience in meditation. The second question was sometimes you're not able to feel that breath itself, right? Your breath, like you have to observe your breath. That means actually you're going into that emptiness state. Your breath also you will not observe after some time. So that is also, it means you're progressing well. You are doing it right. So no, it is absolutely fine. And then the third question is again, you have the answer for the second question there. Invariably, after we observe the breath, and there you start observing the sensation. These are the sensations. What you're talking about is not just the outer, just the gross sensation. You're observing the very subtle sensation inside, which is fine. And sometimes instead of that breath, you will go to that stage where you will be observing the sensation. That is fine. And when you think, okay, you are observing the sensation, just observe it. No need to concentrate. Just observe the sensation. Instead of observing your breath, you're observing your sensation. So that is fine. So because Anapanasati is, of course, we are observing the in-breath, out-breath and being with the breath. Then slowly, when you are going to that emptiness state, many of us have this, even me, we start feeling those sensations, the subtle sensation inside. So then you just observe it and go with the flow. So whatever you said, all were absolutely fine. It's just that, you are reaching that state you are reaching that state, the emptiness state. That's all. Yeah. I'll unmute. Yes, you can unmute, Priyanka.
Yeah, the thing is like the breath which is not visible, sometimes at the starting only this happens. I cannot find my breath. Then that is
Correct.
also normal.
That's also fine. It's absolutely fine.
And sometimes
Yes.
it's like we consciously do that thing. It happens.
Consciously, you are
Breathing in,
trying
breathing
to.
out comes, yeah.
Yes, Yeah, that part, okay, when you are, it is consciously doing it, when you are aware about it, then you stop it. It's okay, like in between, sometimes when you are too distracted also, when you are sitting for meditation, maybe you had a long day, so many things happen, sometimes it happens. So that time also, one trick you can do is not taking like breathe in and breathe out very visible to others, just a usual, like consciously breathing, just 2-3 breaths, and then just start observing the breath. Yes.
And one
But
last thing,
yes.
like nowadays, the meditation is like the legs they get jammed up, and it pains. And
Mm,
it feels like
mm,
anger. I have to like come
mm,
out of it 2-3 times. So
mm,
how
mm,
to
mm,
handle this?
mm. So when you are getting that pain, you know, right? I think in meditational experience, sir has discussed, pain is also a part of an experience in meditation.
It's due to like
Okay.
long sitting, the legs they get jammed up in that cross
Yeah,
position.
we think it can be because of long sitting, but also if there is some kind of a healing happening inside, it can be because of that. So if you are really not able to tolerate one rule is don't open your eyes. Okay, so but if you're not able to bear that pain, you can shift little bit. You can move your leg little bit, or just keep it straight. I don't know how you are sitting. You're sitting on a chair, or if you're sitting down in
Down.
Sukhasana. Okay, so then you can just spread your legs like this out. So these are all from when you have started meditating, Priyanka ji?
27th. This
Oh,
27th.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have just started
Yes,
now,
yes.
right? This is
Yeah.
it's just the beginning. So this will all pass away. So it's okay. I mean, in beginning we'll have these gross pains and all that. So you can just move. If it is really you're not able to bear, you're not comfortable in that posture. If you feel because of this pain, you're not able to meditate, you're
Yeah.
not able to observe your breath, just move and open. That's what Sir says. Any comfortable posture. Comfortable posture is the key. It's not like you need to sit like this, you need to have your back straight. It's okay. I mean, these postures help you to go, I mean, to reach that state much faster, but it's completely okay. First thing what you have to practice is your comfortness, the comfort posture you take. If you want to lean back, you want to have a support for your back, it's okay, have that. First, make sure you are in a comfortable posture and then start meditating. That is one thing. And of course,
Actually,
during
10,
meditation,
15 minutes, I'm into one position, so I feel like I should not change it. Like the whole this experience will be gone. That's why this thing happens.
yes. So don't have that thought. Don't have that thought. This experience will go. Nothing will happen. I mean, you can move your leg little, and during this thing, these are all just in the beginning. Then you will see your change the way, and you will also, like when I started meditating, I was experimenting with the posture. Which posture will be comfortable for me? Each one of us have a different comfortness. So then I know, okay, this posture I'm more comfortable. I sit always with that posture during meditation. But of course, meditation you can do anywhere, even if you're waiting for your flight, or if you're waiting, if you're sitting in a traveling in the car, train, you just close your eyes and just clasp your fingers and cross your feet wherever you are, and you will be able to meditate. So these are all, you have just started, so just go with the flow, but it's okay to move. Don't have that thought, oh, I'll be out of that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be any judgments or conclusions. Don't come to any conclusion.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
So
Yeah.
you just started, just accept whatever and have whatever it is. When you're sitting before that, have a strong intention. I'm going to have a great meditational experience. Sit with that, and later also after your meditation, be happy and show gratitude to whatever experience you had that time, whatever it is. show that gratitude to that experience what you had in meditation for that moment.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for wonderfully answering all my questions.
No
They'll help
problem.
out.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you for the questions. I'm sure many of them here would relate to that, whatever you asked. When you begin, even I have had all the whatever experience you spoke about. I had gone through all this when I began this journey. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you, ma'am.
Priyanka ji. Thank you. Yes, I don't know who is this. A recording of today's class. Sai Garu or Kiran ji, you can post in the chat the YouTube link we have, and also the Buddha CEO app link. Sai Garu, both the links you can post where the recordings are there.
The Zoom link I'll post it. In the chat itself, shall I post it now?
Yes, in the chat, Sai Garu. They want the recording of today's class. And the other question is, could I get the written form of these 6 principles? Yes, we will have a wisdom note coming on for this. So if you are in Sonika ji, if you are in the WhatsApp group, and of course we will send by email also, all the wisdom notes we send by email. So there you will have the written form from Chandra sir himself. Of course, we will post it of the 6 principles of nature of personal reality. So yes, you can access the recording through the app, Buddha CEO app. Sai Garu, she has posted the link, and also we have a live YouTube Buddha CEO live link. Okay, and any other questions, Master, or you just want to share your experience also? You can raise your hand. This 6th principle, it covers the whole truth. That's what I have experienced. It has everything in that, all the 6 principle, if you understand it deeply. And of course, the books also. Once you start reading books, you will go deeper into the concepts. So for reincarnation, many masters, many lives is also one of the book, apart from the book mentioned by Chandra sir, by Stevenson, 20 Suggestive Cases of Reincarnation. Many Masters, Many Lives by Brian Weiss. And also for the consciousness concept, and yesterday sir was talking about the quantum physics principle, and he spoke, this amazing author, Dr. Amit Goswami, Self-Aware Universe. Very technical, this book, technicality is there, but wonderful book to understand the concept of quantum physics and consciousness. And also Mind to Matter, Dawson Church book. Okay, friends, I think we can wrap up for today. So see you all tomorrow. Heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for joining today's session. Thank you.
I choose the